a transcendent moment for me. To be able to stand behind the pulpit, the same place that my father appeared some 63 years ago. I appreciate your very cordial welcome. For over 30 years, I was a professor of art and a maker of visual images. In the last years of that career, I was director of graduate studies at the School of Art and Design at Georgia State University, which is a large school in downtown Atlanta. And in that position, I was always intrigued by the way art students would compete for studio spaces with just the right kind of light. Some studios had floor-to-ceiling windows that flooded the spaces with natural light. Other studios had to be lit with a combination of natural and artificial light. Still others were completely enclosed and had to be lit artificially. Those students understood a reality that we've all faced. It is light. It is the quality of light that makes the very act of seeing possible. It is light falling on a canvas, absorbed by the canvas, reflected back from the canvas, that activates the colors, the textures, and the shapes that are there. And we've all had quality of light experiences. If you've ever had to take a flash photograph in a dimly lit room, only to have the flash misfire, you know that the resulting photograph will be flat and dull and dark, completely lacking in definition. We've all had the experience of watching beautiful azalea rose bushes ablaze with color slowly appear to become dark, clumpy silhouettes as night falls. When storms come, and you know about storms in this area, when storms come and electricity fails, our festive home interiors immediately become gray and black environments with barely distinguishable shapes. Now think of these lovely windows that are so much of the part of your church's history. Think how lifeless these windows would be without light on one side or the other. Those students were right to fret about light because light makes the very act of seeing possible. Beyond that, light can have a bearing on your health. A physician, Nathan Rosenthal, moved to New York City from South Africa years ago, and he spent a number of dark, dank, dreary New York winters. And he began to wonder why he felt so depressed, why he had so many mood shifts, even physical symptoms. And he realized, after all of that time, something about light. He identified a condition which we know today as SAD, Seasonal Affective Disorder. Another name for winter doldrums or the winter blues. The cause? Not enough of the right kind of light. Treatment? A light therapy box, which is a device which replicates the light of a clear summer day. So light is vital to seeing, but beyond that, health. And still, we must say more about light. Light is life itself. The sun, that great light at the center of the universe, radiates energy that is absorbed by the earth and sustains all of life. I remember a few years ago, my wife and I had vinyl-covered stainless steel siding put on our home. Quite by accident, some scraps of light, some scraps of siding were placed on the lawn. You know what happened weeks later when we removed those scraps. The grass was dry and dead and brown. So life equals light itself. Since natural light lets us see, gives us health, gives us life, is it any wonder that that grand old ancient creation story begins with that command, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw that the light was good? Is there any wonder why writers of Scripture found in natural light the perfect metaphor for God's justice, God's presence, and God's love. The psalmist declares, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" The writer of Proverbs tells us the path toward righteousness is like the dawn, which grows brighter and brighter until full day. And you remember what Jesus told his listeners, "You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." And that grand old gospel of light, John, tells us that those who do what is right come to the light so that it can be clearly seen that their deeds have been done in God. It's as obvious as it is true. As natural light lets us see, gives us health, sustains life, so spiritual light gives us a sense of moral clarity. It nurtures our souls and even makes possible the survival of our souls. So I come this morning as an artist, as a fellow human being, and as a follower of the way to celebrate the gift of life. But as we celebrate this gift, it is also important for me to tell you that there is about this gift something unsettling and demanding. Perhaps you've had the experience that I've had, getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom to take an aspirin. You must turn on the light so that you won't pick up the wrong bottle. I am never prepared for that highly disheveled, puffy-faced, vaguely familiar countenance that looks back at me from the mirror. Same thing is true of spiritual light. You see, this natural light shows us that we really are in an unguarded moment. It shows us things about ourselves that we haven't known about, we haven't seen, and haven't wanted to see. The same thing is true of spiritual light. It can show us things about ourselves that we haven't known about or haven't wanted to see. And so I pose this question this morning. What must it be like for us as broken, flawed human beings, even at our best, to come into the presence of perfect love, forgiveness, justice, and mercy? What would that be like? Well, there's a wonderful poet, Lakrina Wilder, a nun in Arkansas. She gives us the poet's take on that. Like lightning at dawn, the all-powerful one came, electrifying, energizing, frighteningly crashing into my morning prayers. Totally unprepared for such a disturbance, I froze on my knees, both in wonder and terror. There was no morning silence left, no reassuring calm to enfold me, only those flashes of light that made hiding impossible. Oh, it wasn't complete surprise. I was expecting God this morning, but not like this. I was looking for peace. I was waiting for that quiet reassurance that silence sometimes brings. I was listening for the sound of angel wings hovering over me, convincing me of presence and protection. But this was awful. God standing there with terrible, penetrating, yet loving eyes, saying, "Your love is too small." Standing so close to truth, I tried to hide my face the way I always do when truth comes so close. I tried to hide the pieces of my terrible divided heart, but then the lightning flashed again, and God was standing there, even closer than before, holding the pieces of my heart with such tenderness, still saying, "Your love is too small." With that last flash of light, a great calm came over me, and I felt free the way I always do when I finally owned the truth. God gave me back the pieces of my heart without trying to fix or mend